The scepter will never leave Judah. The scepter will never leave Judah. The scepter will never leave Judah. I'm Judah. Christ sprang out of Judah. King David was Judah. King Asa was Judah. Don't crowd me up, who gon' rouse me up? Alistair Crowley, your time is up. It's a big mess, I gotta clean it up. Esau, the end of my kingdom's up. On the eagle's neck, I'll press. I woke up from my rest. I woke up from my arrest. My rulership is up next. No vex. Judah. The scepter will never leave Judah.
Shalom, Israel. Shalom. And welcome to the Israelite School of Biblical History and Practical Knowledge. We're located at 8524 South Braeswood Boulevard, Houston, Texas, 77071. Our class times are Monday, Wednesday, 7 p.m. to 9 p.m., and Friday, 6 p.m. to 8 p.m. And Shabbat morning class, that goes on from 10 a.m. to 2 p.m., or till whenever we're finished answering questions. We have another location out in Virginia. They're at 2610 Granby Street, Norfolk, Virginia, 23517. Their class times are Tuesday, Thursday, Friday, 7 p.m. to 9 p.m. They also have Sabbath morning class from 10 to 2. We alternate on the airing day, so they'll air one week and then we'll air the next, and so on and so forth. So stay on the lookout for that. If you subscribe to our channels, make sure you have that bell clicked, that bell icon clicked, so whenever we go live, you'll get a notification saying that we're going live from YouTube. We also have a location out in San Antonio, Texas, that 4444 Walden Road, Suite 201, San Antonio, Texas, 78218.
I don't have my little.
Their class times are the same as ours here, but they go for an hour longer. So you can definitely catch them there. The extended clip, you can catch them live, or you can catch the a pre-recorded show. I know it's kind of back and forth, being that our times are similar, but their classes are just as fire, if not better. I mean, I love the brothers out there. I love all the brothers. We're still working on the Albuquerque, New Mexico location, so stay tuned for that. We have other avenues of getting this truth. You can catch the blog talk at blogtalkradio.com/Mashaba. Very, very good topics and subjects that are gone over in there. Very good teachers. So check them out. Even if you go back and you can go back and listen to old blog talks. Very, very, very good shows. You can get fortified in your basics, get some in-depth knowledge, different perspectives from the variety of teachers. We also have the Israelware. Israelware, they're accepting orders. You can get the Friends Up subscription, where you get a T-shirt and you can get a T-shirt and a headband for $75. Very dope headband. The water. Very dope headband, or you can get it and a T-shirt. Monthly subscription, so you'll just keep getting a monthly T-shirt and headband, something different every month. Get your righteous gear up. Or you can just do the T-shirt. T-shirt's $35. Do $35. You get a new shirt every month. Upcoming feasts, we have Hanukkah. Hanukkah will be December 8th through December 15th. So if you got some PTO, you got some time off, get that scheduled so you can enjoy the holy days. Just like you would for Christmas or Thanksgiving or any other holiday that you celebrate in the world, you can celebrate some righteous holy days. Not the bootleg holidays, but the holy days.
That's right.
All right, and we have the Hebrew Academy that we do here in Houston every Tuesday and Thursday. For those of you that are not in Houston, you can catch us on the Zoom. If we don't have your number, you can hit us up and we can send you the link whenever we start to do the Hebrew Academy. When we're doing the Hebrew Academy, and in VA they're doing their Hebrew Academy on Wednesdays. So be ready for that because it's heat. If you're trying to learn, if you're trying to be more than just a forever student, if you're trying to get a little bit more in-depth knowledge, come to Hebrew Academy. You'll learn to be a teacher. You'll learn how to break down the scriptures. You'll learn how to properly edify those that you come across when you're at work, when you're walking down the street, your day-to-day life. So, if you can, come to Hebrew Academy. If you need to reach a priest or teacher, you can reach Priest Kazakia at 757-300-4047, or you can reach Priest Quatzazat at 303-557-8979. We have the business Sweet Ambiance, which helps support the school, where you can get your aromatherapeutic oils, your favorite oils, your male and female fragrances, the cologne and perfume smells. So check us out online, and we'll keep you smelling good, keep your house smelling good. If you want to make any donations, you can drop that into the Wells Fargo account. Any alms, priest offerings, you can put that in the Wells Fargo account, or you can Zelle it to us. We are in need of books, pens, papers, apocryphers, dictionaries, computers, sound system. We're trying to make new signs for street speaking. If you can help out in any way, please hit up Priest Quatzazat, and he'll give you a good address where you can send the items that you may feel like we can use to help the ministry. And with that, that's the end of the announcements. We have a pretty good class lined up for you guys today.
Con. So, oh yeah. So, shalom, brother. Did you have any questions before we get started with class? No. Okay. Yeah. If you have any questions at any time, brother, all you got to do is raise your hand. We got you. Okay. So today's class is gonna be titled "She Was Broken," right? So we're gonna be going over prostitution. And you don't really see a lot of people, really, you don't see anybody talking about prostitution. And the crazy thing is, right here on Braeswood, you keep driving down the same street onto Bissonnette, you see nothing but prostitutes. Yes. Blacks, Latinos, Native American women prostitute themselves on the streets. The age range going from 12, 13 all the way up, right? So you don't see nobody talking about it. You don't see nobody really trying to dive in and see what is up with these women and how did they get there. So that's kind of what we're going to go in today. We're going to go into one of these classes and, kind of relate it to us because, and spiritually, we're just like them. We just don't realize it. So let's go to Matthew chapter 7, verse 3. We're going to start in the book of Matthew chapter 7, verse 3. And before you read Matthew chapter 7, verse 3, I got a question to ask. Got a good question to ask. And y'all can put it in the chat too. What is your first thought when you see a prostitute? I want y'all to be 100% honest. When you see a prostitute, what is your first thought? What's the first thing that comes to your mind?
Damn, how can they be like naked out there?
I like that. Damn, how can they be like that? Brutally. That's the truth. What else? Who else got something? Anybody?
You need to ask the married man about that. The married man fantasy prostitute. Married get it home when you go to the streets again.
You mean an unmarried man's fantasy?
No, a married man.
What is the prostitute?
Why you think that's the old profession in the world? Cause a lot of
Oh,
people,
I see what you're saying.
Yeah, because a lot of people, they be married, but
Well,
they not getting what they want at home, so
Right.
they take it to the street.
well, what he's not going on that.
Yeah, I'm not going on that angle. I'm like
He's
on
going
first.
more off of like just first thought.
It's like if I see.
You get one more first time?
No, we don't want your first thoughts.
What's
We
up,
don't want your
brother?
first thoughts.
What you got, King?
We are also just ourselves whenever unfaithful to Christ.
Yeah.
Going towards, the devil and not being faithful to him.
I like that. That's a good answer too. Like, damn, you're unfaithful. You're unfaithful to Christ, and we're gonna go into that too.
You said leading more to the devil.
Yeah.
That's a good thought on that.
So I'm gonna go ahead and say what nobody wants to say.
Oh, I'll tell you what they
Ew,
said online.
I know what I say.
Online they
Somebody said dirty.
Filthy,
No,
disgusting,
they said
dirty.
dirty. No,
You said what?
not dirty.
Yeah, dirty. It's filthy.
Somebody
You know-
said what happened in your childhood, low self-esteem.
Right.
Why are you selling yourself? And that's on point. That's
Keep those answers in mind for later.
keep them in mind.
But it
Keep them
is right when you first. I mean, I was just driving and I seen one and I was like, ew. I instantly was like, ew. She was ill.
Oh,
I don't
yeah.
want to describe it, but it was ill.
I probably seen her.
Yeah,
One
it
year
was,
too.
it was disgusting.
God.
Because some of them be out there disgusting looking, right? Just be out there. They look strung out. They look, and it does gender up the questions. Why did you choose that? Why did you lean that way? You couldn't find a different alternative.
Yeah.
Why would you let yourself be subject? Because think about the whole thing of prostitution is a man breaks a woman down so much that she's willing to give up her whole body.
All right. Hold on. You're starting to jump.
No, I'm not.
You're starting to
No,
jump.
I'm not. I'm just giving. I'm not going to jump into it.
Yeah.
But just think about it. She gives up her body to do what? Benefit somebody else,
God.
right? So she's benefiting somebody else. At the end of the day, she's bringing that whole paycheck to daddy, right? So because that's what I think of. Like, how can this person be so broken that they put their life on the line for somebody that just sits in the parking lot in a? Because we see them all the time.
Yep.
I can point out every pimp out there.
Sitting in the
They
Mercedes.
just sit in the Mercedes, just lean up against the trunk of the car. 2-3 of them with their chains on, white tees, and they just be chilling.
Yep.
They just be chilling out there, man. And these women are just walking circles. They walking a damn track through the track. That's why they call it a track.
It's called a track because that's all you do.
Because they just walk around in circles. They got the whole thing mapped out. And I'm like, dang. You're like, when we go out there and street teach, I never knew people could walk up and down that street so quickly and just make the circle so fast.
Yep.
But they do it. They got a circle that they do from, what is it? What is it? Right after the Beltway?
Yeah, right after the Beltway, down to 59.
Down to 59 and they circle right
And
back.
then circle like
back
back to the
streets.
neighborhood.
Yeah.
Or they got a car waiting for them, pick them up, drive them back down, and they just walk right back down. And they just, the track. And I'm like all day, rain, sleet, hail, snow. They be out there in the rain. They be out there when it's 110.
Yep.
When it's 100 degrees, musty, sweaty, dirty. We've halfway hanging out.
But you know what everything that you're saying though? With everything that you're saying though, it's very important. I want y'all to keep all that in mind because we do the same thing. The only difference is that they do it out openly where you can see it. But that's how the Most High looks at our spirit. Whenever you get faithless, whenever you get doubtful, whenever you get corrected, you don't want to fall in line with your husband, and you come at your husband a certain type of way. Whenever you're a man and you would rather do everything, every and anything, but give your spirit to the Most High and His Son, that's how you look. He looks at you just like a prostitute. But we're gonna hit the scriptures. Go to Matthew chapter 7, verse 3. So we're going to start at Matthew 7 and 3. And then somebody give me Jeremiah chapter 3 and verse 1. Go ahead.
The book of Matthew chapter 7, verse 3.
So first things first. Like I said, the first thing when you see a prostitute, you're like, man, she's dirty, she's nasty, she's filthy. What's going on with this, right? That's the first thought that comes to mind. But I want y'all to remember this. Go ahead.
And why beholdest thou the mote that is in thy brother's eye, but considerest not the beam that is in thine own eye?
So you'll look at start at verse 1.
Yeah.
Verse 1.
Got to start at verse 1. Go ahead.
Judge not.
He said do what?
Judge not.
See, be careful. Be careful how you judge. Go ahead.
Mm-hmm.
That ye be not judged.
Go ahead.
For with what judgment ye judge.
Right? Because the judgment that you judge, the things that you project towards the next person in lack of knowledge and lack of knowing their circumstance. Because that's what this is about. It's not about do you not judge a matter? Of course we judge. The scriptures say we're going to judge the world. We're going to judge angels. So this is going more into the condemnation side of the spirit, where you just condemn a person to just utter failure or utter they can't come back from this, or why did you go this route? Like we've been saying, right? Mm-hmm. Why did you choose this? Well, you don't know why they chose that. You don't know what deck of cards was stacked up against that person to maybe they didn't choose. Maybe they were forced.
Yep, some were forced.
And maybe they were in a space where they didn't have enough wisdom to know that there was a different alternative. Because usually that's what it is. They were ignorant, right? So how the scriptures is telling us how we should move and look at those sorts of people. Because yes, their filth is outward. It is open. You drive right down the street and all you see is two butt cheeks moving. And you're like, whoa, what is, that's like, who can come out half butt naked? Right? Who can come out? Aren't you ashamed?
But spiritually, on the inside, when you look at yourself, but that's the thing, you don't look at yourself. Mm-hmm. That's like a prostitute. She don't care how she looks. That's why she'll leave. Mm-hmm. But that's how we look. That's how we look at our spirit. We don't ever care about how our spirit looks. We don't care how the Most High looks down on us. Because when he looks down, he ain't looking at clothes. The scripture tells you that the Most High is not looking at the outward appearance. Mm-hmm. He's looking at the inward man. Mm-hmm. So when the Most High, he looks at the inward man, and you look just like the prostitute. So
can I go there next?
Yeah.
Go ahead, read on.
Ye shall be judged.
You shall be what?
Judged.
Go ahead.
And with what measure ye meet,
and with what measure ye meet, go ahead.
It shall be measured to you again.
Right. There may be a circumstance where you might be judged too quickly or out of character or in the wrong way due to lack of circumstance or lack of information. What goes around comes around. Go ahead.
Right. Verse 3. And why beholdest thou the mote that is in thy brother's eye?
Go ahead.
But considerest not the beam that is in thy own eye.
Con, you know what's dope about this? I always used to read the scripture, man, and I'll be like, "What the hell is a mote? What is a beam?"
Really?
Right.
And I never actually went and looked it up. But a mote is like a twig. So you'll look at your brother or your sister, and they have just a little small twig in their eye,
a small flaw.
But you wouldn't but you won't ever look at yourself to see that you have a beam. The beam is like a timber. It's like damn near the whole tree. You'll be worried about somebody's small twig, but you won't look at yourself but you have more than a twig. All the person got to do is go like that, and the twig is gone. But you can't go like that with a tree if you got a tree in your eye. Right? So what this is saying is you'll look at somebody and their problem is not as big as the problems that you got. But you worried about everybody else's issues and not what you got going on. You're not looking at nobody else but yourself. I mean, you're looking at everybody else, but you're not looking at yourself.
And what it is you're looking at their small outward issues, but you're hiding something bigger.
Because you won't know somebody, you won't know somebody's big, deeper issues unless you sat and talked with them.
Yeah.
So what you see is you just see a prostitute. You're like, oh, okay, she's a prostitute. She's out walking naked. That's what you see. But mentally, you don't know what this chick is dealing with. You don't know what she's going through. Now we know if she's out here prostituting, that whatever she's dealing with mentally is it's real bad. It's real bad. Either she's all the way destroyed mentally.
Yeah.
Or she's being forced. And she wants to get a way out, and usually it's the first one. Usually, I mean, it's both, but usually it's more towards the first one.
Listen, half them chicks, you go talk to them, they'll tell you that's not what they want to be doing. They'll tell you, I don't want to be out here. They'll tell you. They'll tell you straight up. So nobody in their right mind, nobody in any mind wants to do that unless they're really just really so far gone that they take pleasure in being out there like that and giving themselves over to all those men,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah, it's a small percentage that
Really
actually want to go out there.
take joy in being a hoe.
And we're gonna hit that too. We're gonna touch on that aspect too. Like what drives your mind to be like that if you're a woman, right?
Can I get mine?
Yeah, go ahead.
Go to Romans chapter 2. Just on the point that he's making, this point of the judgment, and we look at the outward of things and make a quick judgment, but you forget that there's an inward doing to all the things we see outward, and you'll misjudge if you don't have the complete picture. And before we point these fingers at the mote in someone's eye, what about the beam? What about the beam that you hide?
Done.
You try to wear the shades. I gotta cover up my beam. And you throw shades on, right? You throw on a dark lens. You try to cover it up. But you got people that are moving. Their things are out in the open, and you can't just judge them as gone or condemned just because it is out in the open, just because you do see it.
Yeah.
The ones that hide it are the worst. We went over it the other day about the secret sins.
Yes,
What was that?
sir.
Psalms 19?
Yeah, Psalm
19 to 12?
Yeah.
He said the secret sins, right? Them things you hold back and don't want to talk about and try to hide.
Yeah, I'm not gonna lie. I would rather a female just show me she's a prostitute than I get with her.
Yeah, and then you got
I get 3 kids with her, but the whole time she
got a whole
she's
mentality.
committing adultery with everybody.
Yeah, she got that whole mentality
Yeah.
where she's creeping on the low, taking your money. I'd rather a chick, hey, I got a whole mentality. I'd rather a brother, hey, I got a harlot's, I got the mentality of a whoremonger. I got to bounce around
Yeah.
instead of trying to hide it. Because that's what we're going to go into. Read Romans chapter 2 and verse 1.
The book of Romans, chapter 2, verse 1. Therefore, thou art inexcusable, O
See,
man,
the Most High is going to show us, man, there's no excuse. Watch, read.
whosoever thou art that judgest.
Right?
For wherein thou judgest another,
Right?
thou condemnest thyself.
Why? Because while you sitting there pointing the finger like this, you should be doing this. You forget to do this.
Yeah.
We forget to look in the mirror. You're looking at all the flaws of another person, but you forget to examine oneself.
Done.
So now you end up condemned. Why? Because you overlooked your own flaws. Or you made yourself better or put yourself on a pedestal when we're all flawed, right?
Con.
Kazaki was talking about that yesterday in the grace class, where we all got the flaws. Go ahead.
For thou that judgest
Right?
doest the same thing.
Wait, you do what?
Doest the same thing.
Now, you might not be out there actually hoeing, like giving up your body to like passerbys. You might not be out there street walking, right? Literally walking up and down this and that. But what about spiritually?
Yeah, what about your spirit? Yeah.
What about spiritually when your spirit starts to wander down the spiritual this and that?
It's like
There's a spiritual this and that.
it's like if you're a man, right? If you're a man, you're not driving down Bissonnette picking up prostitutes, but are you watching pornos? Do you watch porn? Do you go to the strip club and throw all your money? See what I'm saying? And then even if you could take it to a whole nother level, yeah, you might not be driving down Bissonnette trying to pick up chicks, but what are you doing? You whoring yourself out to everything else. I'm sorry, I used it in the wrong term.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, you might not be. I meant to say you're not a chick walking up and down Bissonnette whoring yourself out to every man. But what do? And this is for men and women. You whore yourself out to everything, except
You give yourself
you
over.
give yourself to everything. I should
Right.
say instead of
yield-
giving yourself to the Most
You
High.
yield your members. You got the ones that they got to hop around on YouTube. I got to hop from this camp to this camp on YouTube. Right? I'm on everybody's YouTube. You a YouTube hoe.
Yeah.
You got the ones that go from school to school to school.
Yeah.
You a camp hoe. You a camp jumper. We could pull out all the different ways to show brothers and sisters. Oh, when you jump from pride to lust to envy to hate to jealousy to this to that, and then you in the spirit, then you hop out. You a
Slothfulness.
spirit jumper.
Yeah.
You're a spirit jumper, man. You let yourself jump from anger to you jump out of the spirit into the spirit. You're supposed to be rooted. That's the problem with a hoe, with a prostitute. They don't want to be tied down to nothing but what? what do they tie down to? It's two things: the money and the pimp, the one that got them out there. That's what they're tied to. But they'll pick up and go do their job anywhere they can.
Yeah.
Listen, Bissonnette ain't the only street, right?
Nah, you got
Bissonnette is the spot though, but that ain't the only street, right?
in Houston. No.
Right.
Can be. Big Houston is.
It's not the only street in Houston for hookers,
No.
but it's the main street, right? But I'm sure there's other streets that these same little chicks that be on Bissonnette, they'll find another street that is busy that they can turn their little tricks. But we can't be in that mind. First of all, we can't be so judgmental to forget that we have a lot of spiritual defects in us. You might have the garments on, you might have your butt cheeks covered, you might not be walking up and down this and that, but where is your mind? Read on.
Verse 2. But we are sure that the judgment of the Most High is according to truth against them which commit such things.
Go ahead, verse 3.
And thinkest thou this, O man,
Right?
that judges them
Right?
which do such things,
Which do such things. Go ahead.
and doest the same?
But we do the same. We can't do the same. You can't hate. You can't become what you hate. You can't become what you hate. We cannot allow ourselves to secretly become what we hate openly.
Kind
Yeah.
Because that's what we're trying to really go into and show brothers and sisters is that, yeah, you'll see something openly, but secretly, that's within you. And we got to be careful to not let those things be in us. Go ahead.
That thou shalt escape the judgment of the Most High.
Because at the end of the day, who's really knowing the insides of you?
Most High.
The Most High, right? The Most High knows the inward. So, see, can I just get one more? Just on that point? What you got?
I got one on the point.
On what point?
Your point.
Read. It ain't my point, it's his point. We're stealing his point. Go ahead, what you got?
Jeremiah chapter 6, verse 15.
Uh-huh.
Book of Jeremiah,
I just want to get this Ecclesiastes.
chapter 6, verse 15.
Right?
Now, we know the scripture where it says that the eyes of the Most High is 10 times brighter than the sun.
And
Right?
that's what I was grabbing.
Okay.
Yep.
We'll hit that first.
Right, that's what I was grabbing. It's, what is it, Ecclesiastes? What is it, Wisdom of Solomon or Ecclesiastes?
Baruch?
No, it's not Baruch.
Oh.
It's Ecclesiasticus, yeah.
Damn.
It's like 16.
Oh, that's 6 numbers.
It's let me grab it real quick. There it is. Ecclesiasticus 23. 17.
The book of Ecclesiasticus, chapter 23, verse 17.
Pause real quick. Get the brother that apocrypha right there, so you can read along. We're on page 84.
So real quick, brother, the Apocrypha, those are books that were taken out of the Bible. So you can find
Like if you get like
plenty of Bibles.
Yeah.
Like for instance,
Like if you get a 1611 Bible, it'll have that part in there. It was taken out by the Roman Catholic. Like that has
for instance, this has it in there.
Yeah, mine right here has it. So it's the 13 books that were taken out. All right. So
Yeah.
we read that because it is part of the Bible. Go to page 84. 84, yeah.
What book?
80. It's Ecclesiasticus,
But it's on page 84.
chapter 23, but it's on page 84.
And your Bible.
There you go. That's how you do it. Go ahead, read.
Ecclesiasticus, chapter 23, verse 17.
Read.
All bread is sweet to a whoremonger.
See, and that's what we're gonna go into, showing that all bread is sweet to a whoremonger. That whoremongering mentality. You'll dip and dive into anything. Go ahead.
He will not leave off till he die.
Right. Jump down to verse 19.
Verse 19.
Right.
Such a man only feareth the eyes of men.
Go ahead.
And knoweth not that the eyes of the Lord are 10,000 times
Go ahead.
brighter than the sun,
Read.
beholding all the ways of men.
Right. Some of the ways.
Beholding all the ways of men.
Wait. Yahweh can't see me because I'm in my house. I hit myself. He can't see through the clouds, like the scripture said. Go ahead.
Yeah.
Beholding all the ways of men.
Read.
And considering the most secret parts.
Right, and obviously when you read verse 18, he was saying, who seeth me? I'm compassed about with darkness, showing the mentality of this person. But think about it, even us, we move in this way where we point fingers and forget, wait a minute, there's things in us. There's things in us that got to get worked out. And who sees it? Even if you cover it up with a nice garment, a nice hair wrap, you cover it up with a nice strong salute, or a nice humble shalom. Yahweh Shema Hatan Yahweh Shem Yahweh Shai, brother. Right? A nice smile. You got brothers and sisters, man, they be covering up things with smiles and makeup. We hear about it, we know about it.
Yes, sir.
You cover up all the hurt, the pain.
Yes, sir.
You cover up the inconsistencies, the double-mindedness. You try to, at least. But who sees it? It says the Most High. Go ahead. And it says he considers the most secret parts.
Verse 20. He knew all things ever.
That's it on that. You read the point, and considering the most secret parts. He sees the secrets of us.
Done.
Right? So where were you going to go?
Jeremiah 6 and verse 15.
The book of Jeremiah chapter 6 verse 15.
Everybody able to get it down? Following along, keeping up? All right, read.
Were they ashamed when they had committed abomination?
Now, you look at the chicks on Bissonnette walking down the street and you're like, ugh, dirty, gross, yuck. How could she do that? But do you consider your abomination? Like the scripture said, the Most High sees. His sight is brighter than the sun, 10 times brighter than the sun. He sees all your filth. Do you consider within yourself that you're committing these abominations? What does scripture say? Read.
Nay, they were not at all ashamed.
Why? Because they feel like it's not open. No one else is seeing me. Why should I be ashamed? Why should I feel bad about the things that I do? This is just what I do on the low. That's why it's called being on the low. You know,
secret sins, man.
The secret sins, these secret faults.
Done.
And you feel like it's all good because nobody else sees you. The Most High sees. Isn't that what really matters? That's what matters. Read on.
Neither could they blush. Therefore, they shall fall among them that fall.
I said you didn't even blush. You know what? You know what's funny is when you do something that's out of the spirit. When you first do it, you feel nervous. Oh man, I don't know if I should do that. If I should have did that. You start second questioning whether to do it, or you're like guilty about it afterwards. But then when you keep doing it, you build up a comfort with it. And you don't feel like there's anything wrong with it now. It's just something that you do. But you know that it's morally wrong. That if someone else seen you doing it, they would judge you on the spot and look at you funny. Or think that you're off. And you don't want that judgment, but you just do it. And then you dress up, nice pressed, clean clothes, hair did, smiling, shalom. Brothers, shalom. Strong, powerful salute. Look like you in the spirit. You dropping scriptures and precepts. But inside you filthy. You're not even considering.
Somebody gave us a thumbs down for this?
Oh, great. I love it.
Damn. That sucks.
It helps the algorithm. Thank you.
I guess because we're not.
Or thank you.
Right?
So if we were telling you to go out and be a prostitute, you give us a thumbs up?
Right?
I was just wondering.
Gone.
Yeah, that's weird.
Yeah, finish it.
At the time that I visit them, they shall be cast down.
Because these secret sins are not going to go unchecked. The Most High said you're going to get cast down with the people that are openly sinning. Because it's still sin, regardless. And that's all I had on that.
No, that's true, man. That's true. Let's go to Ecclesiasticus chapter 36 and verse 25. Ecclesiasticus chapter 36 verse 25. So we got that, right? Pretty much. Don't judge. Don't judge somebody else, especially when you got a whole bunch of things going on with you.
Is that in the Bible?
Ecclesiasticus in the Apocrypha. Ecclesiasticus 36 and
what?
36 and 25. So yeah, don't judge. You know, don't judge somebody on the outside when you got a whole bunch of spiritual things going on the inside. You know what I mean? So go ahead, read that. Ecclesiasticus chapter 36, verse 25.
The book of Ecclesiasticus, chapter 36, verse 25.
Let's see who becomes the target, like to be out there on those streets walking. Go ahead.
Where no hedge is, there the possession is spoiled.
Who knows what a hedge is?
Protection.
Yeah. Y'all gotta raise y'all hands. What is it?
Protection.
Protection. So your hedge is your protection. That's like your fence. That's your gate, right? So the scripture says where no hedge is, there the possession is spoiled. So when you look at these chicks out there on this and that, y'all gotta see, man, and they're out there, they're spoiled, right?
Okay.
So if they're spoiled, the scripture says they didn't have a hedge. So when you look at them, tell me right now, for everybody that's in class, what are those sisters out? What's the sisters on Bissonnet lacking? What's that form of protection that they're lacking?
Both sides.
A hedge.
Raise your hand. What is it?
A hedge.
A hedge, but what is the hedge?
A man. That
A
leads
man.
them.
They need a good man.
in the Most High.
A man in the Most High, because you're absolutely right. A man that leads them, because they do have a man that leads them. But they don't have a man in the Most High. So when you look at them,
He leads them. He beats them. He steals from them. He keeps them captive. That's
Done.
our man. He gets them high.
Yeah, get some drugged up.
that's just a male.
Yeah,
That's a
listen,
beast.
Y'all seen Hustle and Flow? Come on, man. Y'all,
Yeah, it's just a beast.
y'all see Hustle and Flow, right? What was his name? JD? I'm JD.
DJ.
Oh, I'm DJ.
Yeah, it's DJ.
DJ, right? You see DJ. DJ was a brute. Look what he did with old girl with her baby. He just put the whole walker out. Took the walker and dropped it on the front porch. Got the whole dresser, the drawers, and just threw all her stuff out. This is my house, right? DJ wasn't playing. But DJ was smoking weed next to old girl that was pregnant, smoking
Yeah.
cigarette. Like, no care, no wisdom, right? Even when she was making money, he walked up in the club like, come here. She's like, I'm trying to make some money. He was like, I don't care, come here. No wisdom. Not even no wisdom, even in the foolishness that they do.
Gone.
You see that? Yeah, go ahead. DJ.
Yeah,
DJ.
and read it from the top, verse 25.
Ecclesiasticus chapter 36, verse 25.
Go ahead.
Where no hedge is, there the possession is spoiled.
So when you look at like a prostitute, right? Think about them from a child coming up, because you don't just wake up one day and you're a prostitute. You're out on the street. It don't happen like that. So what happens to this little girl when she's young?
Most often she's sexually abused.
Con, you hit the nail right on the head. But there's a lot more factors, because not all that didn't happen to all of them. But a lot of these chicks, man, they've been molested, they've been raped, they grew up with no fathers. They had no form of protection. They had nothing. No man was there to help. They were probably poor. And you know what's crazy? A lot of them aren't poor. But when you look at everything that the world has geared, we get it. There's a lot of things geared to the black man, the Latino man, especially when it comes to the drugs, the gangs, the violence. But what's geared to the women? The lewdness. The promiscuous nature, that's what they geared towards our women.
Come.
Every song is sexual. Every movie is sexual. Why is it that, I'm glad you mentioned that Hustle and Flow movie, right? Why is that in our new movies? Why is that in our communities?
Pimps and hoes. You can't find that in no other. Like, is the white man making money about pimps and hoes? Or making movies about pimps and hoes?
No.
Yes, he is. All them slavery movies. He's the pimp, you the hoe.
He made a lot of them back in the day.
Was he making movies about himself being a pimp?
Oh, no.
That's my point. He only does that when he is whooping your black ass. That's when he's the pimp, and that's when you the hoe. When you bowing down to him, he give you all these movies about him being the star, him being the king, him being the ruler. He's Noah, Moses, God, the Pharaoh. He's Queen of Egypt. He's the white man. He's the black man, Chinese man. He's like every man except for anything negative.
You're
They're
right.
starting to come out with it now, though. You gotta watch these shows like on our TV. Lucifer, right? You gotta watch. There's one that I've been watching called Evil. It's on Netflix.
When you watch Lucifer, the twist they put on
Yeah,
that, they make you
twist
feel
it.
sorry for him.
Yeah, they make like he's compelled to save humanity.
Con.
Yeah, he's actually a good guy.
But there was one thing I did want to say, jumping back, because you were talking about what happens to these women why they chose or fell into that lifestyle.
Yeah.
And we named all these things, but there was one thing we forgot to name. Because what about, look at it like this, in this aspect. What about the young boy or young girl that has both mom, both dad there working with them? Financially, they're fine. They don't really want for anything. They're living in a good little middle class home. They got access to different things. They're not in the hood per se.
Yeah.
What happens when they fall into certain lifestyles like drug dealers, like pimps, like hoeing? What is that? That's them rejecting that good circumstance. So it ain't just all like product of my environment. I got raped, I got beat, I got molested. Some of them women rejected a good home. They rejected knowledge. They rejected authority. They rejected someone telling them what to do. Now what? The Most High say you reap what you sow. You reject that, I'm going to have somebody over you now. And who's over you? That pimp. He ain't going to have no mercy.
Con.
You see that? He's going to have no mercy. So we can't just say, oh, it was just by circumstance that they can control. Some of them could have controlled it. Some of them had a better way out and ain't take it. They purposely despise wisdom. Everybody got that one grandma that's like, nah, not my baby. Right? Or some family member, man. They might not have a Bible, but they know my daughter ain't going to be, my grandchild or my niece or my nephew ain't going to be out there hoeing. Somebody got that. The Most High is not unjust to send you.
Yep.
The Most High is not unjust to send you someone that's going to try to steer you another way. Or else you be justified, right? You be justified in being able to choose a bad lifestyle.
That's true.
So we know that someone was sent at some point before they made that move.
That's why the scripture says that with every temptation,
there is a way out.
The Most High knows how to deliver the righteous. And usually the way he delivers the righteous, I'm not going to say usually, it's always. You either get a phone call, like I'm just saying, like let's just take it off of prostitution real quick.
Well, there's always a choice.
Yeah, no. What I'm saying is, let's take it off of prostitution. Whenever you're dealing with anything in life in general, where Satan is gonna trying to pull you into doing whatever. There's always, you either get a phone call, like say you finna kill yourself. The Most High sends somebody to give you a phone call, or you got to talk earlier that day, or something happens. But something happens to take your mind off of it for that little split second. Because sometimes we get caught up in situations, and the situation is so overwhelming that it's like you black out and you forget everything. So then it's like, yeah, you just gonna go into the sin. It's like, say somebody that you got somebody that's trying to stop smoking cigarettes, right? In that moment of weakness, when they're about to smoke that cigarette, or they're about to smoke that weed, or they about to hit crack, or they about to hit heroin,
the lighter don't work.
It's like, in that moment, they fighting with their mind, right?
Like Pookie,
but when they start losing that battle, and they're about to go and hit it, once that happens, it's like you're one-sided. You get into this one-track mind, like, yeah, that's what I'm about to do. I'm gonna smoke the cigarette, even though I know I want to stop. I'm gonna smoke this crack, even though I know I want to stop. And then it happens, but before you even hit that crack, before you even hit that cigarette, what does the Most High do?
I got it right here. Job 33 and verse 23. Job 33 and 23. This is what he does.
The book of Job, chapter 33, verse 23.
Go ahead.
If there be a messenger with him.
See, the Most High sends a messenger.
Yep.
He sends a messenger. Go ahead.
An interpreter.
He sends someone to break down what you're going through.
Yep.
And they might not break it down 50 million scriptures, 1,000 classes, but they might say, hey, this ain't the way you want to go. Selling your body? Come on. They bring you objectiveness. Go ahead.
One among 1,000.
One among 1,000, because everyone else is like, do what you want. But that one person among 1,000 is like looking out for your spirit, actually. That messenger. Go ahead.
To show unto man his uprightness.
Go ahead, read on.
Then he is gracious unto him.
How do we know? Because this is the grace that we've all been afforded. Kazak went into a beautiful class that he hasn't finished, but this is the grace that is said to appear to all men, right? So that's the free gift that we've all had. So he's not going to just let us roll with a thought and not at least give us the opportunity to fight out of it, or roll with a circumstance and not make a way out of it. Read on.
You know, real quick
go
before
ahead.
you do, if there is a way where you can't get out, that's how you know he actually put his judgment on you.
Oh yeah, it's a wrap for you.
Yeah.
It's a wrap.
If you can't get out, that's when you know that God was like, bye.
He ain't rolling with you. He ain't rolling with you.
Yeah.
He treating you like a bastard. What do you do with a bastard son? Hey, he does what he wants. He live whatever life he wants. That ain't my child.
Yep.
Whatever happens to him happens to him.
Gone.
But he sends someone to correct you because he loves us, to get you out of that mind, to get you out that, to help you see and interpret your circumstance. That it's not the only way. Go ahead.
Deliver him from going down to the pit.
Do what?
Deliver him from going down to the pit.
But this only happens when what? When you actually recognize that you're going the wrong way. You only get delivered from the pit when you understand you're going to the pit. Oh, snap, that's the pit? Woo, let me do a U-turn. That's the only way. It gotta be a recognition on each individual's part that, wait a minute, the way I'm walking is contrary.
Yeah.
But then this is the scary part that happens. Read on.
I have found a ransom.
Phew. So think about it. While somebody is being delivered, somebody's being dropped in that pit. While somebody's recognizing their circumstance, somebody's not. And they're falling to their circumstance. So once you've been delivered, guess what? Next up, who's going to be that ransom? But guess what? At any time, the roles can change and you can be delivered into the pit and you become the ransom for someone else.
Yep.
At any time. But the Most High is showing us that he's not unjust. He's going to send that messenger. He's going to send that interpreter, and a lot of people reject. A lot of people reject the messenger. Right? A lot of people reject the interpreter. No, that's not with my God. I'm going to have to pray on it. Pray on it? He just answered your prayers. He got somebody sitting in front of you breaking down the Bible. Or breaking down your circumstance. Or showing you that there's a different way. But remember, when you're drawn away by your own lust.
That's right.
So, but even with every temptation, he makes a way out. So you see how it works, where if you go all the way fully to the left, that's really on you. There was a little inkling of light that you could have stepped into, and that would have opened you up to go all the way right. But every man got a choice. Right? So I just wanted to point out that was that one little part of dealing with anybody, man. Anybody.
Yeah.
You think the drug dealer ain't had a way out? You think we all have a way to serve the Most High. We have a way out of a negative circumstance, or even a circumstance that is not pleasing to the Most High. It don't have to be negative. You don't got to be some drug dealer, pimp, crackhead to be off in the eyes of the Most High. If you ain't serving him, then you're in the wrong.
Done.
Bottom line.
Gone.
Right? Go ahead.
Go to Ecclesiastes chapter 7 verse 23. And also I forgot I was supposed to go to Jeremiah 3:1. Y'all can put Jeremiah chapter 3 verse 1 after Matthew chapter 7.
Oh, we were jumping. My bad. We was moving
Yeah.
in the spirit of light.
The speed of light.
Jeremiah 3 verse 1 and 2 after Matthew's, and you can go to Ecclesiastes chapter 7 verse 23.
The book of Ecclesiasticus, chapter 7, verse 23.
And this is back on the point of who is being targeted, right? So we get it. The possession that has no hedge, that's being targeted. The kids that don't got no protection, no guidance, no help. That's what's being targeted, right? So go to Ecclesiastes chapter 7, verse 23.
Hast thou children? Instruct them, and bow down their neck from their youth.
So the Bible says if you got kids, you're supposed to instruct your kids and bow their neck down from their youth, right? But when y'all look at the earth right now and the way the world runs right now, this don't happen at all. At all. These kids run wild. They run rampant. Ain't no guidance. Ain't no discipline. Ain't no nurture. Ain't no nothing. Somebody just switch the Bible with him. Yeah, just switch it. So ain't none of that happening with these kids, right? It's funny, man. All these kids are idle as hell. You used to see kids outside playing. You don't see that no more.
No.
They just facing their phones, facing their tablets, and that media, whatever they put on TV, whatever the music is that they're listening to, that gets pumped into them. And then read verse 23 again from the top.
Hast thou children?
Go ahead.
Instruct them.
So you got to instruct your kids, but what is it that you're supposed to be instructing your kids? The words of God. But who really instructs their kids the words of God nowadays? Nobody. You ask a child what adultery is, they don't even know what adultery is. They ask a child what fornication. You can go ask any kid, what is adultery? What is fornication? They ain't gonna be able to tell you. But they'll be able to tell you every rap song, every lyric of the song. They'll be able to tell you what happened in all these movies and all these TV shows. So we already know what they do during the media. I mean, on TV and in the music, they pump all this filth into your child's mind. All this filth gets pumped into your child's mind, and then guess what? You don't instruct them.
But the rappers are instructing them.
Exactly.
The singers, the artists, the actors. You know, they're instructing them on how to cook crack. They're instructing them on how to
make
trap.
money.
Man, can you imagine? Like, they give you the breakdown in these rap songs on how to trap. What dude say he been trapping in? He was trapping from the subway.
Nah, from the Sitco.
From the Sitco, yeah. Sitco. The gas station.
The Texaco.
Texaco. That was
7-Eleven.
Right?
Yeah, Gucci Mane. Yeah, I've been trying to catch up. But
nobody traps in the subway.
Because ain't no subways.
Well, no. Someone did say he was trapping out the subway.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Instructed by the holy oracles of rap music, the holy oracles of love and hip hop, instead of being instructed by the holy scriptures. You know.
Read that.
Hey,
You know, you got to think about it. When they go to school, they get instructed by that. These other kids dress. You know what I mean? They see how their mom dress. They see their mom going out clubbing all every day. Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. She never cooks. She never cleans, but she clubs. But I wanted to hit the point of like just think about Cardi B, Megan Thee Stallion. That's what our daughters got to look up to, man. That's what they're looking up to. I don't cook and I don't clean, but I got the ring. That's madness, man. But that's what our daughters are coming up listening to. So how is it hard for a pimp to break them? If a pimp was to get a hold of her mind, how is it hard for the pimp to break her? All the pimp is going to do is tell her, you already do these things. If she already has no self, I don't want to jump, but if she already has no shamefacedness within herself, if she's already shameless, if she's already playing musical sticks, if she's already hopping from every different man already at a young age, and when the pimp comes to her, all the pimp got to say is, you're already doing this.
Musical sticks?
Musical.
Is that what you said? Damn, I like that one. Musical beef.
Nicodemus, go ahead. He had his hand
I
up.
like to say this, a lot of them young girls be runaways. You know, they get caught up at like a bus station or a train station. That's what the pimps be waiting for them. It's like a breathing hole for them.
But what are they running away from? They're not all running away from parents. But they're not all running away from bad parents. Some of them are running away.
Some of them be running away.
Yeah, no, you're absolutely right. I'm agreeing with you. Yeah. But just showing that even in that, some of them are running away from a bad circumstance, bad parents. Some of them are running away from good parents and good homes.
Good.
Yeah, bro. They're running away from structure.
Yeah.
They want to be told nothing. I want to be grown.
They want to be free.
Right. They're looking at all what he was saying about
They look
the
at
Cardi B's.
They look at all the other chicks.
Yeah, they look
that's
at-
free,
Yep.
and that's it, come on, man. It's like I'll just go to it. Let me find it real quick. Go to Proverbs 12 and 26. Go to Proverbs 12 and 26. It's no different than what happens to us,
Con.
right?
Get back.
And not saying that we go out and we prostitute
I don't
ourselves.
cook, but I clean. But let me tell
But-
you, I got this ring.
Proverbs 12 and 26. Read that.
The book of Proverbs, chapter 12, verse 26.
Go ahead.
The righteous is more excellent than his neighbor.
So you'll have, like, on what Nicodemus is saying, right? You'll have a chick that you'll have I'm not gonna say a chick. You'll have a young girl that's at her house, that's getting disciplined, that her parents got a structure for her. Her parents don't let her leave the house. Her parents keep her in, guide her, protect her, keeps her away from all these different things that the world has to offer that she don't realize, right? She's technically righteous because the Bible does tell you to keep your daughter inside the house. Don't let your daughter run around loosely. That's what the Bible says, right?
And straight. Yep.
Keep her in straight. But your daughter, she'll look and she'll see all these other little girls that just get to run away. I'm not going to say run away, but run rampant. Do whatever they want in the streets. They at every party. They at every movie theater. Every Saturday they out doing something. And they looking at themselves like, I can't do nothing.
Yeah.
But see, they don't understand that those chicks that they're looking at, they don't understand that those chicks, they destroying themselves. They look at how they get to wear whatever they want, but they can't. So what do? As soon as they're 18, as soon as college hits, they go to college and they just let loose. But some just run away because they can't take it, right? But finish up Proverbs 12 and 26. This is what happens to them. Go ahead.
But the way of the wicked seduceth them.
Because what are they being seduced by? They look and they see other kids being able to do different things, and they're like, "Oh man, that's freedom." They think that the grass is green on the other side, but it's really not. So that's just for what Nicodemus was saying, right? But go back to Ecclesiastes chapter 7 verse 23. Ecclesiastes chapter 7 verse 23.
Ecclesiasticus chapter 7, verse 23.
Go ahead.
Hast thou children, instruct them, and bow down their neck from their youth.
Again, so come on, man. These little girls, they're not being instructed at all. Imagine if they grew up with no fathers, which the majority of them grow up with no fathers. So and if the father is there, the father, he might be an alcoholic. So she got to watch him beat on the mom, or she getting molested by the father. So it's all kinds of things that could be going on with or without the father. But either way, she ain't getting instructed. Ain't no guidance coming. Ain't no care. Ain't no love. Ain't no discipline. Ain't no none of that. Read on.
Verse 24. Hast thou daughters? Have a care of their body.
And this is the thing, man. When you look in the world right now, these parents don't have a care of their daughters' bodies. That's why every little girl is walking around with short shorts. Short shorts.
Victoria's Secret pink.
Victoria's Secret pink, and they only 10 years old shopping in Victoria's Secrets. They don't have a care for their bodies. Black tight spandex. You can see every curvature of the little girl. Ain't no care of their bodies. So think about it. They're not being dressed. They're not being taught to operate a certain way, and they're not dressing a certain way. So is it really hard for somebody to come up and just infiltrate her mind and get her out there on the streets, especially if the house might have drugs? The dad is an addict, or the mom is an addict. Ain't no money coming in. She's poor as hell. They bouncing from different houses. They in shelters. They homeless.
Well, I was gonna say they're already that mind has already been infiltrated.
Yep.
Think about it. Think about this. Look at the little girls that go shop at Victoria's Secret pink.
Con.
Like you literally sitting there shopping for your drawers and open arena. Remember way back in the day when man and female you shop for drawers and you kind of was like you would hide them. You'd be shopping. You'd be like, oh yeah, you just throw those in the cart.
Yeah, you don't want to be seen with that.
You didn't want to be seen with them. You didn't want to see people. You you don't want people to see you picking out your undergarment. But now you walk up to Victoria's Secret Pink and you holding them up like, oh yeah, girl, that's gonna be the one. He gonna have a good night. Like they just right there on display for the world to see. And all you gotta do is just walk through the mall and you see these little young girls lusting after Victoria's Secret Pink. They make sure they make the sweat, even though they're sweatpants, they make sure they cut them in a way where it accentuates a 12-year-old's body, an 11-year-old's curvature that they don't have. But somehow, as soon as they put that stuff on, they curvy.
And
like
even
11.
and even like where they put the word pink at,
right on the
they
butt,
put it right on the butt.
on the butt cheeks.
So if you're gonna read pink, you see.
You gotta look at this little young
butt.
girl's buttocks. Yeah. But this is the thing. So the mind is already destroyed in programming this young girl that look. Somebody needs to be looking at your butt. Somebody needs to make sure it's real tight so they can see everything move. Like, listen, my daughter came to me just a while ago before class. She was like, "I need your approval on this dress." I was like, as soon as she took 2 steps in, I was like, "Nah, nope," because it was just a little too tight. I said, you can see certain lines. If you can see your underwear line, that it's too tight. If you can see your the way your curves and hip and all that, nah, that's too much. You're too young. But as for all of us, it's supposed to be a level of modesty. But then think about it. They got the guys, right? They program us to wear the super, super tight pants where you can see when you fart, the bubble that goes down your leg. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm serious though.
No, he just farted.
Yeah, you can see the bubble just travel down like trying to escape. It's like, damn. But that's how tight the jeans, that's how tight the pants are. I mean, you shouldn't see nothing should be accentuating a man's.
You like come out at that.
Nothing, no pants or sweatpants, but they do what joggers. They make them real tight in the crotchal area, tight in the leg, right? And it's like everything is like accentuated.
Yeah.
Why though? What are they trying to promote? Well, they're trying to put everybody into the same that mind of androgyny, that mind of giving yourself up. Well, because think about it. What is there to give if I can see it through the clothes? What is there to take?
What's in the imagination?
What's in the imagination if I can see your nipples through your shirt, right? Because it's so tight or it's see-through. Then what is it?
You're not wearing no bra.
And you're not wearing no bra. But that's what they push.
But even on that, just think about what they push. They push the nipple piercing.
Rihanna.
And how they do it. They use their celebrities.
They use Rihanna. She was
and
the
they
big
just
thing.
push it out there.
Yeah, she was in a video with her whole nipple out.
So again, think about a little girl growing up. She sees that, and that's all she's listening to. That's all she sees.
Yep.
That's all she hears.
And she sees that Rihanna is praised.
Yeah.
Oh, she's a strong black woman for showing that little rusty nipple. Oh, she's strong. Look at her. She's strong. She getting all the likes on Instagram.
Powerful.
All the Facebook likes. Doing Fendi commercials and
who describes that?
What, little rusty nipple. I'm just saying, like, I'm just showing you that there's no value in it. The reason why I described it like that, because there's no value to that. It's a nipple. It's a nipple, but it's held in this high esteem, right? And then now everybody's commenting, liking.
And you know what? They did have something called Free the Nipple, where it's like the whole push of letting a chick just walk around
bare chested.
Just bare chested.
Like,
that's what I'm saying. But they won't tell you to breastfeed your baby. They tell you to have them things out, but they won't tell you to put it in a baby's mouth to nourish your child. You see how it don't make sense? Like, you got people that'll go against women that do breastfeed. They pulling out the boob to breastfeed the baby. But then you got these advocates that's like, no, just walk around bare chested. If a man can do it, so can a woman. They did it in New York. They had this whole rally. These women walking around with their breasts out. Like, if men can do it, then we can. The Me Too movement, man.
The Me Too.
If men can do it, so can we. Equal rights. But as soon as a woman pulls out her breast to feed a baby, it's like, oh my God, ostracize her and ban her from all public gathering, and she's wrong, and it's disgusting. You see the mentality?
Yeah.
But what are they pushing? What do they want to affect? Well, again, once we give you the carnal, think about it. When they gave you the Old Town Road song, I want to take my horse down the Old Town Road, right?
I forgot about that.
And then it comes out that this dude's a faggot.
And he's talking about.
And he's talking about just riding some man.
That whole song is about.
The whole
that.
song is just homo.
And you didn't realize that.
But they gave you the song first to program you into the mentality. So now your kids running around, old time roading it, wanting cowboy boots, want to hop on their little fictitional horse. You got to see how they do it. They program you outwardly, but then what it's doing, it's slowly working on that subconscious. The more you recite the lyrics, we was all singing that song.
I'm not gonna lie, I didn't mess with it. I never messed with it,
bro.
I never messed with it. I called Shaquat right now and asked Shaquat.
I heard him singing it one time we rode. Nah, I don't know. I'm joking. He didn't. But everybody was like, "Oh, it's a catchy song." Even if you didn't sing it, you're like, "Oh, it's catchy." And what did it do? It stuck real quick.
It
stuck real fast. But then they were like, "Oh yeah, by the way, he's gay." You're like, "Whoa, so what's he really singing about?" Brokeback Mountain? Khan. He's talking about the child Brokeback Mountain. And you sitting here like, wait a minute, you just program, and then you want to get the song out of your mind, but you can't.
You know what's funny? It's only gonna get worse too. It's only gonna get worse because they did that before. If y'all remember that,
dude, he like a pink prostitute.
Khan.
What is this little dude's name again?
Lil Nas X.
Lil Nas X. He look like a prostitute out there. He holding himself out.
He looked like that one dude we seen walking down.
He's like he should have a pink bikini under that,
right?
Like right there, like a pink thong.
You know what's funny?
It's sad, man.
Listen, they've been doing this. If y'all, some of y'all know Frank Ocean. He had a song called "Thinking About You."
I've been thinking about you.
Like he's talking about a man.
His whole CD was dope.
That whole song, he's talking about a man. He said, because later after he came out, that's when he came out that he was gay. So I think back to that song, and I'm like, he was like, I remember, I could not forget how you feel.
Right.
Like,
you're like, whoa.
And then he's like, you were my first time, a new feel. And I'm like,
bro, it hit me too. I was like,
so after you said that, I was like, oh man, no.
Yeah. But that's how
I was singing that.
But think about all the things, and the reason why we're bringing this part up is because you know what I've been doing lately, and y'all all can do it. I've been going back. They put them all on Netflix for this younger generation. I've been watching The Parkers. I've been watching Moesha. I've been watching Sister. I've been watching Step by Step. I've been watching all our old. I'm an 80s baby, so I've been watching all the 80s and 90s little shows. He-Man. All that. I've been watching it to see what were they hitting us with at a young age in our subconscious. I was watching it was The Parkers. Right in the first episode, they was hitting you with being a witch, being a psychic. Like they need to get a job. Her and the mom needed to get a job. What they do? They went and did a psychic hotline. Like that's what you could go do. Be a psychic. Be a witchcraft. Be a soothsayer. You listen to I was watching Thundercats. They hitting us with Egyptology. Because that's where the Thundercats were. They were in Egypt. And that's where Mum-Ra was. He was the Egyptian lord that manifests himself, and all you gotta do is watch it and you'll see what were they hitting us with? Why now you got these women that are my age talking about being a white witch. Talking about I'm spiritual. I'm into Wiccan. Right? I'm into burning sage. I'm into the stones. Where'd they get it from? Well, they were hitting you early. They were hitting us when we was 9, 10, 7. So when I'm going to get to y'all. When I give it to you openly, physically,
it's like,
right?
It's already.
And it manifests in your spirit, you're there for the taking.
Yeah.
Just like these prostitutes where things were given to them on the outward and that mind was being worked on like, oh, it's okay to be in booty shorts. When I'm walking, like, we had the spot in the mall and we used to see these little young girls walking with their dads. And I'm like, that's your daughter? Like, yeah, and she be walking like straight, I'm talking about, she's 9, 8, 7, 12, with just booty shorts. Worse than booty shorts. And you're like, what? You let your kid leave the house like that? Like, you're not even ashamed to have her show so much skin? Yeah. But there's no shame on either side. And now the daughter thinks it's acceptable because a parent is supposed to do what? Check that. He's supposed to check what's not acceptable. But if my parents are buying it for me and telling me it's acceptable, guess what? When a man comments on it, right? When a man is like, oh man, I like them booty shorts. That adds another notch to it. You roll with it.
God.
They roll with that spirit. Sis and then Nicodemus.
That's like, if you watch the Rugrats or Hey Arnold, Cat Dog, all
Yeah.
of them are borderline so inappropriate.
Homosexual. Right, he said, Mum Ra ever living. Yeah, he was Egyptian. He was trying to get the Thundercats to be Egyptians, man. Nicodemus.
It's like back in the days, like in the 50s and the 60s, just not recognizing it. I recognized it when I came into truth, how they was programming us all the way back in the 50s and 60s. Like with them textbooks, the name one was Tom, Dick, and Harry.
Yeah.
And James.
Yeah.
Dawson, Trevor.
Wow.
Yeah,
See?
them
But see, you can recall a lot of that.
Yeah.
You can recall a lot of that.
Yeah.
I didn't, you know, obviously
Yeah,
you got to
back
go.
in the 50s and 60s.
Yeah. See, but
They was already programming.
they've been programming us. So now when it's like, hey, jump into this profession or give your spirit over here, you might debate a little bit and be like, damn, prostitute. I can't go out there and do that. 1 week later.
But girl, you need the money.
Yeah, but 1 week later you walking. Why? Because the money outweighed the spiritual part of it. The money outweighed the shame. The money, the glitz, the glamour, it outweighed any spiritual implications, any negative spiritual implications.
It's also like they want to make fast money and work less. It's like you literally can do anything other than that, you know, like in my hometown.
And that's what I
like,
want to get into
work
too.
at 12, work in cornfields. Like you literally can I've never seen a lot of prostitutes until I came here.
Mm-hmm.
Like you can find work anywhere. Like adults can do it, but you can start doing it at 12, and you just like help pollinate the corn.
Right?
So they just don't want to put in those long hours, the hard work. That you literally can
Well,
find
why should I have to
Yeah.
when I can just lay down, get a 1 minute chump, and he got to pay me? I mean, I don't know how much they cost, but it's more than what they're gonna be making per hour on some cornfield, and it's less work.
And it's a cornfield.
And like
No, I'm not trying to
Yes.
diss it or disrespect it in any way. But you already know, like
the cornfield,
it's like
fast money.
It's no different than a man. He's like, I'm not gonna work no 725. All I gotta do is deliver this package and collect the money.
Yeah,
It's
do some hand to hands. I'm good.
yeah.
I'm good. I'm good for the week. I can make that in about an hour. That's $7.25 an hour. I can make the whole day's pay in one move, in one handoff. I'm good. I'm not gonna take the hard route. Remember, the scriptures talk about the straight gate, right? It says it's narrow, it's straight. On one side, water. The other side, fire. You try to jump off that straight and narrow, what happens? You're gonna drown or get burnt up. But a lot of our people, they're like, no, I don't want to go that way. I don't want to go on the straight and narrow. I want to try to jump over somebody's back. Can't do that. I want to crawl under nope, can't do that. You try to, and what happens? They end up drowning or being burned up. Either way it goes, it's not the path that they should be taking. Y'all see this?
Con.
Where we at?
Go to Psalms chapter 51 verse 5. The book of Psalms 51 and 5.
Yeah, and you know how they usher it in nowadays? This is how they usher it in nowadays. Go to Hooters. When's the last time anybody in here been to Hooters or Twin Peaks? Or,
It's damn near any bar at this
Chula's.
point.
yeah, Chula's.
It's damn near any bar.
I remember listen, I almost lost my mind. Now, there's a bar that's over here. Was it Chula's that used to be right here?
It was true.
Yeah.
So I remember we were doing flyers right down the street. Right down the street from the school, literally right here on Bissonnette. And I never knew what it was. It's Chula's. I'd never been there before. It's the first time, but I had to use the restroom. So I walk in there to go use the restroom and instantly pause like, whoa, wait a minute. Is this where the hookers is meeting up at? I thought I walked into like the hooker meetup spot. Because this hostess, she was there with the sheer nightgown that you could see right through. With like the bra that was super cut low, so the whole top half of everything, everything was about to pop right out if she would have moved too funny. But what threw me all the way off was that the bikini that she had on was like a piece of floss with a covering, and I was like, well, I can't use the bathroom here. I'm in full garment. I'm like, I can't go in here. I paused. I looked. I was like, damn, did I just walk into a room full of hookers? It was a bar. Chula's is a bar. I had to step out and ask, bro, like, what is this place? They were like, oh, that's Chula's. I was like, it must be hoe night. It must be dressed like a hooker night. Because I never experienced a bar with women that had so less fabric. It blew, but they, even that mind, oh, just go work at Hooters. Hooters is a fat, and then you know what's crazy about Hooters? I'm gonna get to you. They had the remember the show, The Hidden Boss?
Undercover Boss.
What was it? Undercover
Boss.
Boss, and they had the Hooters boss, CEO, and he's like, you know, this is a family-friendly company, and you know, we make sure they wear stockings to cover up, and
Wow.
I'm like, you got their ass out. Then they asked him, and this is how you know he was front. Because he had a 9-year-old daughter. They asked him, would you let your daughter work at Hooters? And he kind of jittered like, yeah, of course. Like, bro, you lying. You know damn well you don't want your daughter working. The whole point of you having these lower mentally unstable women is so that your daughter ain't got to do that. You don't want your daughter up in there with these blonde bimbos and these airheaded women that feel like there's no other way out but to show some breasts. Yeah. It's called Hooters for a reason. What is it highlighting? Not the owl. Not the owl.
Not the owl.
But the ones in your shirt. And they throw some wings, some nasty wings, and a couple of clams and a few beers.
Yep. And
cats get disrespectful. I've been in Hooters, man. They smacking chicks on the butt, and they're like, "Oh yeah, that's gonna be an extra tip." It's all for the game, man. You gotta see how they usher in our daughters into this whoredom. But now, how are we ushered in?
Same way. You know what's funny is you can look at it and be like, is that really doing something? But
right.
You know, in this talk about Hooters, I actually remember I had a chick that I was messing with in high school, and she actually told me that was like her dream job.
To be a Hooters girl?
Yeah.
See?
And bro, this is like freshman sophomore year. And it's funny now it's coming back to memory, and I'm like, damn, a Hooters chick?
You also go work
That
at
was it.
Applebee's.
But, and this is the thing, this was a smart ass chick. Like, I don't mean to curse, but she's like at FAMU now or something like that. She's a smart chick. You know what I'm saying? But it shows you, like, you could be smart, but you could be retarded too. You know what I mean? And that's where it goes back to the scripture that we hit. Like, she wasn't being instructed.
Yep.
Wasn't no guidance there where it's like, yeah, I can't wait to grow up and work at Hooters. It's like, what? What are you talking about? You're smart as hell. You can go be a pediatrician like you want to. You know what I'm saying? But it's real. So who had that Psalms 151:5? Go ahead.
Psalm chapter 51 verse 5.
Go ahead.
Behold, I was shapen in iniquity, and in sin did my mother conceive me.
So we understand this, man. We're born into a sinful world. It's one of my favorite scriptures because this scripture is telling you how we all became who we are today. We're born into a sinful world, and the iniquities, all the things that we went through, the trauma that we went through, the pain, the hurt, all that shaped us into who we are today, the good and the bad. A lot of these women, man, they've been through a lot of bad. A lot of them, but like we're hitting, it's not all of them.
I got a question.
It's not all of them.
Question. So who quoted this? This is David, right?
Johnson.
Right. So he said he was shaping in iniquity. Did his bad shape him?
Lie.
He says lie. What'd you say? Did David's bad? Did the bad things he saw in life, did they shape who he was?
See?
Lie.
Okay, what else? Who else says yes? La means no in Hebrew. Who says Khan? Who says La?
Say Khan.
You say Khan. They shaped him. Okay. Okay.
Khan.
Why you say no? That his bad didn't shape him.
I misheard. I think you said his dad shaped him.
Oh no, his bad. The bad thing, the iniquity that we're all born into. All man is born into this condition. Watch. Read it again.
Psalm chapter 51 verse 5.
Right.
Behold, I was shapen in iniquity.
Right. Go ahead.
And in sin did my mother conceive
So
me.
all men are born into this circumstance. Iniquity and sin.
Yes, sir.
So does the sin shape you? And the iniquity shape you?
Yes.
Okay, what do you mean? You said con, so talk to me. What do you mean?
I mean,
Explain
he
it.
would do certain things to make him who he was, but he didn't run with the bad things because he could have been just like, well, I was born in sin, so it's okay, I'm a sin.
Right.
But he didn't. So it shaped him for him. Like he went through certain life experiences.
Right.
But he chose to always be good and not let them be like,
That's
oh,
perfect.
well, I'm a product of my environment.
That's perfect. Well, he was a product of, we're all a product of our environment because it's not always all bad. It's not always all good. But what are you using? What are you looking at? We all have sin and iniquity around us. That's what the Bible says, right? We've all been shaping in it, no matter what. But when you look at the righteous men of the Bible, when you look at the Isaiahs, when you look at the Jeremiahs, come on, they was in captivity right along with us, with wicked Israelites and wicked nations around. How come the Most High chose these men out of wicked and sinful circumstances that were around them? Well, go ahead. What?
I believe because they wouldn't be led away by it. A lot of times we'll let the things like sin and iniquity happen to us, and we'll let that be what determines us.
Right. See, I like that word. We'll let the sin and the iniquity that we all have succumbed to, that we all have to experience, we let that define who we are. Like, you go to a drug dealer and be like, man, why you become a drug dealer? Well, because my pops was a drug dealer. My great granddaddy, right after we got free from slavery, he was selling drugs and it just carried on. But you mean to tell me nobody could sit back and look and see that selling drugs was wrong? Why you become this profession? Well, it's always because of something else. But nobody ever stepped back and said, well, it's because of what I wanted to do or not do. See, we let certain things define us. And why is it always the negative? Like, why is it the negative of the product of the environment that defines us? Where you got smart people that grew up in the hood, that went to college, that got good jobs, right? Think about I grew up in the hood, I grew up in the projects. But I'm here teaching this Bible, right? I didn't and even before that, I'd seen certain things growing up and was like, hell nah, I don't need that. And I made certain decisions even in my teenage life to not let myself be subject to the things that were around me. The negative influences, the drugs, the guns, the murder. Cats around me was getting killed, getting high. Man, listen, I was on a rampage at a young age. From 12 going up, there was a lot of things that I was getting into, and I made a decision to move out of that. I made the decision to move out of New York at 16. Like, I can't keep going through what I'm going through. But I didn't let the circumstance define me of a kid in the projects. A kid in the projects, you think about that, what is that? That's an automatic lowlife, automatic drug dealer, automatic in jail. It's like projects equals death sentence. Or hood for the black man equals lowlife, drug dealer, pimp, hustler, right? For the woman in the projects, 10 kids, 10 baby daddies, welfare. I can name off all the negatives, but what about all the women that were successful, growing up in the projects around all that negative, and didn't have 10 kids by 10 different dudes? Ain't got no kids. Ain't getting high. Ain't prostituting. They didn't let themselves be defined by the negative. You see that? So what David is dropping here is cold, but he's showing. David was a righteous man all the way from, he knew what righteousness was. That's why he was chosen to be king, right? He didn't let the circumstance define the negatives, define who he was going to be. And that's what we all got to look at. Just because you're in the negative don't mean it got to define you. That can be the teaching tool. That is the grace to teach you, okay, I got to do something different. But again, who's recognizing? Who's recognizing that there's negative circumstances that we're all in? Who's recognizing what a negative circumstance is? Remember, when you're born into a house and crack is being cooked on the stove before you could even eat what was being cooked, and the crack smell been in your nose since birth, you're not gonna think there's anything wrong with that. I remember the first time I smelled crack, I was like, whoa. That's not what I want in life. The first time and it wasn't like there was cooking crack in my house or anything like that, but I was subject to these things. The first time I smelled crack, I was like, where's the oxtails?
Right.
Where's the curry goat? That's crack. The first time I held a gun. And this is way back stuff. The first times, I'm like, nah, this is not the life I want. Why I gotta carry that?
Con.
You know, why I gotta be subject? The first, man, I got a lot of firsts that I don't want to talk about, that I had to say, this gotta be the first and the last.
Mm-hmm.
You see what I'm saying? So, looking at the circumstance and what David is saying, he didn't fall to the circumstance. I know you had another one.
Actually, no. Go to Genesis 3:19.
And let me just say another one. Even with Yahweh Shai, when it said we found Yahweh Shai, he came out of Nazareth, and they were like, listen, no good thing can come from Nazareth.
Right.
Did Yahweh Shai, remember Nazareth was the ghetto. That was a ghetto in Israel. That was one of the ghettos in the slums. Did he become a product of the ghetto? Or did he do his father's will? He did his father's will. Christ, right? Nazareth was known as the slums. That's why they said no good thing can come out of Nazareth. But Jesus of Nazareth, he didn't allow himself to fall to the things out there in them streets.
Yep.
He didn't get swayed. He didn't sell his soul at a young age like a damn hoe. Right?
Actually, no. Drop that. Go to 1 Ezra 4:13. Go to 1 Ezra 4:13.
First Ezra, chapter 4, verse 13.
So this is going to go back to like what you were saying about how they don't have to do that. They could do any job, but you know, some of them they chose pretty much to do that. So go to 1 Ezra 4:13. Check this out.
First Ezra, chapter 4, verse 13. Then the third, who has spoken of women and of the truth, this was Zerubbabel, began to speak. O ye men, it is not the great king, nor the multitude of men, neither is it wine that excelleth.
So real quick, just quick synopsis of what's going on right here, right? So this is talking about what's the strongest thing on earth, right? So one man said wine, one said woman, one said the king, and another said the truth, right? So this man, he's going into woman. He's saying that a woman is the strongest thing on the earth. Read on.
Who is it then that ruleth them?
So think about it. Who rules the men? Who controls the king? A man that has power, a man that has money and power can be brought low by a woman. Think about it. By his woman. I watched the Pablo Escobar thing on Netflix. He got caught because he was calling his woman. They wiretapped him. Chapo, I think the same thing. Chapo got caught trying to sneak back to see his woman or something like that, or he got caught with his woman.
He got caught because he got caught because he had done that interview with that actor.
Champagne.
Yeah.
Oh, the second
He got
time.
caught.
The second
He got
time.
caught. Yeah.
Yeah, that was the second time he got caught, right?
What?
So yeah, that was the second time. He got caught twice, remember? He broke out of jail.
Yeah, he broke out of jail,
Yeah. You right.
Yeah, so it's women, right? So it says, the scripture says, who is it that rule over them? It's women. Read on.
Or have the lordship over them?
Go ahead.
Are they not women?
Are they not women? Read on.
Women have borne the king.
Go to verse 22.
By this also ye must know that women have dominion over you.
Go ahead.
Do ye not labor and toil and give and bring all to the women?
So this is the point that I wanted to get to. Because some women, they like this. They like having that power, knowing that, oh, okay, yeah, he's going to bring me the money. I have control over him. All I have to do is just give him some buns, some butt.
Or just tease it.
Or tease him in the strip club. He going to throw all his money at me. He's going to give all the money. Women like that power. Some women like the power. They like the fact that they don't have to go and work a 9-to-5 job and be like other women. They like the fact that they don't have to be like you. working hard, holding down a family. They like, some women like that. They like the fact that they can control men. Go to Genesis 3:19. They forgot this though. They don't like this aspect of Genesis 3:19. Read on.
Genesis chapter 3 verse 19. And the sweat of thy face shalt thou eat bread.
Yeah, they not about that. They not about working hard. Cause think about a prostitute, right? Think about all those prostitutes on Bissonnette. At any time, one of them can just, hey, I'm being forced into prostitution. To the police officers, right?
Right.
At any time, they could, hey, I'm being forced into prostitution to the police officer. And then they could be like, listen, he's threatening to kill my family and all this if I snitch. So can you protect my family and get this guy off the streets? They could do that.
Come.
A lot of them are scared to do that, though, granted. We can't forget that. A lot of them are scared, but then again, a lot of them, they don't want to work hard. I mean, it's no different than a drug dealer. He don't want to work hard. He's not going to work a 9 to 5. He'd rather just run that risk. Read on.
Till thou return unto the ground.
Go to Ecclesiastes chapter 32, verse 17. Ecclesiastes 32:17. Another thing that they like to say is this right here. They like to say that you pay. Y'all ever heard the saying that you pay, even if you ain't going to a strip club, even if you ain't buying a prostitute, you pay for it anyways?
When you get into a relationship?
When you get into a relationship,
like going out on a date,
movies, you gonna pay for it anyways.
But what's the psychology? What's the psychology behind a relationship and behind just picking up some random hoe?
Mm-hmm.
It's a different psychology. There's a different mythology. There's a difference there in going about to get what you're trying to get. You're actually doing something in the righteousness of the Most High. He honors marriage.
Come on.
He ain't telling you to go out there and pick up hoes.
Yeah, you're trying to build with somebody.
Yeah.
You're not just like pop up and leave.
But
Yeah.
see, but I like what y'all said though, because the majority of pimps. I'm not gonna say the majority, but a large percentage of pimps are pastors, former pastors.
Come.
A lot of people don't know that.
Current
A large percentage of pimps are former pastors.
A large percentage of pastors are pimps.
Or former pimps.
Yeah.
I'm
Yeah,
sorry.
that's how you meant to say it.
Yeah, he said that too. It's funny. It goes hand in hand.
You're pimping.
A large amount of pastors are former pimps, and a large amount of pastors became pimps. It's crazy, huh?
That's why Jeremiah called it a hard.
Both and both.
Yeah.
Both and both. It goes hand in hand. But
Pimpery.
read Ecclesiastes 32:17 real quick.
The book of Ecclesiasticus, chapter 32, verse 17.
Go ahead.
Page you on.
Page 90.
Go ahead.
A sinful man will not be reproved, but findeth an excuse according to his will.
And that's how a lot of them are, truthfully. They're not going to find an excuse. They're not going to be reproved. They're going to hit you with all their excuses. Why are you judging me? They're going to hit you with all their excuses why they do what they do, right? Go to Proverbs chapter 12, verse 8. So, this point right here is going to be, how did this mentality come into our people, right? How did our women get so broken to where they're out on the streets? And, I wanted to do this class in a way where you were supposed to relate yourself to the woman, because the Most High calls Israel, the Most High calls us his bride. So the same way that you look at this prostitute was the same way that you were supposed to look at yourself spiritually. Yeah, she does it out in the open. You could see it all. She bears all for you to see. But the same way you could see all when you look at her is the same way the Most High can look at you and see all. So there's no difference. Well, there is a difference, but you better worry about yourself and what you got going on before you worry about her. Read Proverbs 12 and 8.
Yeah,
The book of Proverbs, chapter 12, verse 8.
Go ahead.
A man shall be commended.
I'm sorry, Psalms 12 and 8. My bad, bro. Is that a man shall be commended according to his wisdom?
Cut.
Okay, yeah, good scripture. Psalms 12 and 8.
The book of Psalms, chapter 12, verse 8.
Go ahead.
the wicked walk on every side. When thou vilest men are exalted.
When the vilest men are exalted, the wicked walk on every side. You know why you can see prostitutes everywhere? Because look at what they put up for you to see, man. Look what's all over TV. When you go and you look at the magazines, look at how women dress. What's the difference between a bikini and a bra and panties?
There is none. They call one underwear and one beachwear.
Con.
What's
There
the
is
difference?
Nothing.
And why do you hide yourself? Oh my God, he sees my underwear, but you go to the pool half butt naked anyway.
You show it off. What's the difference? But see, the scripture says when the wicked are on, when the vilest men are exalted, because the vilest people are exalted, man.
Yep.
The strip clubs is a big thing right now. Every music video is like shot in a damn strip club.
Yep.
Every sports player is throwing all their money at the strippers, and it's big news. Like they're literally pumping into the blacks, Latinos, and Native American women to be strippers.
Yeah.
At a young age. These little girls are really growing up and taking, they watch their parents take pole dancing lessons as a way for workout. We got a Zumba place right over here.
Right in the living room.
There's a Zumba spot right behind us. Ain't nobody going to Zumba no more. The parents ain't going to Zumba to learn how to dance. They're going to the strip
Pole dancing classes.
pole dancing classes.
Right in their living room.
That's what they're, and you're right, it is right in the living room. Because when I was delivering at FedEx, there was countless people's houses I would go to, knock on the door, and they got a sign for the package, and I'm like, right in the living room? You got a strip pole?
I got them in church, huh? They call it praise dancing.
Oh yeah, they do it in church. They do it in the church. Twerking. Twerking right in the church.
What's up?
And then also you got the annual gala in Atlanta.
What's that?
The Met Gala.
Met Gala.
Yeah.
Oh.
Well, speaking of the strippers and everything, like you got the ball.
What is it, like refined hoes?
You got
Some
college-
refined strippers?
They gotta go and it's crazy. It's an auditorium. First, it's an auditorium, right? Like you gotta try out if you want to be a participate. So you got hundreds and hundreds of women from all over.
Oh, trying out for the strip clubs.
Trying out for the gala.
Oh.
And then when the gala comes out, you know the Migos have a song about it.
Met Gala. Gucci.
The Met Gala used to be like a black tie event. Right?
Yes.
Like Met Galas.
Galas are
Yeah,
like
the
that.
black tie. Yeah.
Yeah.
So they got the whole stripper
Gala.
black tie events.
Yeah.
I mean,
During the Super Bowl, they got the Super
you
Bowl
go
for
wrong.
the strippers too.
stripper bowl.
Yeah, they got the stripper bowl for the strippers as well.
Really?
In Atlanta, yeah.
In Atlanta, that's
That's
why that
even
place got to burn, because
Atlanta got to burn, yeah.
it's all lust out there. It's all about strippers and homosexuality out there.
They got baseball cards and
Stripper, baseball.
like it sounds like it's right in line. They have
Oh.
stats and
Right?
everything about
Your favorite stripper, let's trade cards.
yeah.
She's my favorite. I can't get this card up. This one's worth $1.
I heard that's how they do it in Vegas. Like, you got this guy, and they got cards, and they're like, boom, 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 what you want?
I don't doubt it.
Bro,
Little profile on them.
Yeah, I've never
Like
been to Vegas,
romantic
but that's
walks
what
on
I
the
heard.
beach.
y'all got to see why America got to burn, man. Go to Proverbs chapter 18, verse 21. But that's what.
Zumba is awesome, but not the way they try to do Zumba now.
Yeah.
Butt naked Zumba, butt naked workout. We did the thing, naked gyms. Mm-hmm. They turning everything. They're making everything overly over sexualized. Over sexualized.
Read that, Proverbs 18:21.
The book of Proverbs, chapter 18, verse 21. Death and life are in the power of the tongue.
The scripture says death and life are in the power of the tongue, right? You know what's crazy about the scripture? Y'all, who knows that Pimp C song where he's like, could I, or should I break them? What is it? Nah. On the song, Pimp C is like, could I, should I break them? It's the chorus. I don't think I'm voicing it right.
Probably not.
But
I ain't really
this is the thing. He's saying, could I, or should I break them, right? You know how you break a prostitute? You know how you got to break a horse? so that you can ride it. You break that mind of the horse.
Yeah.
You ride the horse down. The same way a lot of these pimps, they break the prostitute. How do you break a prostitute?
Wear her ass
There's
out.
2 ways. There's 2 ways that you break a prostitute. You break a chick and turn her and you get her into prostitution. One, that's it. You break the spirit. But one is this: you turn her out.
Get her raped, run trains.
That's how. That's the first way.
All
She
the
gets
homeboys-
turned out.
All the homeboys hit it.
You. She likes you. You didn't seduce her. She likes you. And you're like, you don't give a damn about her. You just ran game. But she likes you. So after you get her, you're like, she'll do anything for you.
You sleep with him.
She like, hey, look. He's like, hey, my homies, yada yada yada. And she's like, but I like you.
But you love me, don't you?
Wait, there you go. You're like, oh, you love me, don't you?
We doing this for love, because man is like a dog, right? Not the dog that bought.
But it goes like that, and then once she didn't turn herself out, listen, once she didn't turn herself out, then she did it.
Yep.
She did it. So then when he starts introducing all these different things to her, it's like I've already been down this road before. You see what I'm saying? So then when he starts introducing money and all these different things, then
The incentives.
yeah. Another way, and this is the worst way you break a chick, is like he said, spiritually. You tell her straight up, you ain't nothing. You ain't gonna be nothing. You will have a chick, she's not good in school, grew up in a broken household, poor as hell, parents probably on drugs, no guidance, no nothing, no way to eat, no nothing, right? And then all the pimp does, he points all that out. But not only does he point all of it out, but he starts breaking her spirit. You ain't nothing. You ain't never gonna be nothing. And he just points out all the negatives and just kills it. Kills that spirit. Kills whatever dreams, goals, aspirations that she had. And he's like, listen, you like to have sex anyways. So since this is what you like to do, since you like to dress like this anyways and like to be like this anyways, you
Get paid for it. Get paid for it. Drive a Benz for it.
gone. And it's constant.
Pay for or ride around in a Benz for it, because them hoes ain't driving no Benzes. They
Gone.
paying for the pimp's Benz. They getting a little bit of AC out of it.
And don't let the pimp have money. Don't let him actually be a pimp that got some dough. Because then it's even easier. Because then she sees what he has, and then she's like, oh, okay, I can actually go. I see that he has money.
You gonna take care
I
of
see he has the things that I don't have. A lot of them got daddy issues, man. Remember, man, when you go back to Genesis, it tells you when Eve sinned that her desire shall be towards her husband. It's natural for a woman's desire to be towards a man. It's natural. That's how the Most High created them. So you'll have a woman whose natural desire is towards a man, but she never had a father. She never really had a husband. She never really had a man. Or the men she been with treated her like crap. So then you get the pimp. Her desire is going to be towards this pimp. That's why you don't see them. That's why you see that they're honored. They're submissive. They honor that man. He beats her. He takes all her money. He treats her any kind of way, threatens her. But she stays down, right? She stays down to him, right? And that takes me into my next point. So how come you have Israelite women and Israelite men? Because remember, the men are wives too to Christ, right?
Yes, sir.
You have Israelite women that will not be under subjection to her husband. Husband tell you to do something, you would not do it.
You going there? Okay, let me get my scriptures.
You would not do it at all. You listen to everything but what he says.
Let me get my scriptures. You
But
going
look,
there?
but think about it. You have a pimp. You have a hoe and you have a pimp. This hoe, I'm sorry, I don't want to use the word like that. This prostitute, she's humble as hell to her pimp. He beats the hell out of her. He treats her like crap. He threatens her family, threatens her kids, takes all her money.
No spiritual insight that he gives her.
Got her walking on the street, got her drugged out. Got her walking on the street to make some money in the hot sun while he's sitting in the AC car, if he's even out there.
Oh, he's
and
definitely
you got to make a certain amount of money every day when you come back to that house, and if you don't, you're getting your butt beat. That's what she's going through. But how come you have women that have good men? You have women that have good men that treat the men like he's trash, like he's garbage, don't listen, don't care. But you have a hoe that will respect and honor this pimp, that'll be submissive to this pimp.
So your question is, why is it that women will let themselves be turned out and give themselves over to a negative man?
And you see,
But when a righteous man comes, you'll go against, you'll buck up, you'll rebel, you'll be contentious, you'll be scornful.
he beats you, the pimp beats you, the pimp beats the hoe, but you'll have a woman that tries to beat the man.
Ooh.
That tries to get the man to beat her.
Mm-hmm. The righteous man, right?
The righteous man, yeah.
Right. But we know what it is. It all goes back to. It's a mentality, man. It's a spirit. I haven't understood what's good for me yet. Right? Think about it. Y'all know the stories, man. Y'all see the women. What they always say, the good girls go for the bad guys.
Yes, sir.
She got the nice guy that's buying her flowers and chocolates and really cares about her innermost thoughts.
Yep.
But then she got the biker dude that comes, picks her up, tongues her down, shows her a good time. Who's she gonna go with? Right? She gonna go with the dude that showed her the good time, the biker, the bad boy.
Gun.
Right? He got I love you mom tattoo right here. You know, y'all seen it?
Gun.
You got the I love mom tattoo with the heart and the arrow. It says mom. Right? But she got the good Poindexter guy, right? He got all the, he respects her. He genuinely cares. But the biker dude, she's like, no, I want to go with the bad boy. I want to be on the back of the bike with my hair flowing through the wind. I'll get shot at, but the biker dude's getting shot at, giving her damn AIDS, getting her high. Why? Because it's about, what do I want catered to? What do I want catered to? Really? What does that woman want catered to? Her flesh, right? She wants all her senses to be touched and tingled. The hair flowing in the wind. I just want my hair to flow. I just want my hair to flow through the wind. That's a feeling. I just want to be high. That's a feeling. I want to be dealt with this in this way. That's a feeling. Getting beat down is a feeling too. It hurts. Right? But
Yes.
but then they want, because it's not about the beating part. What is it about? It's about the I love you after I beat you. Nah, I don't mean it, girl. And he goes the extra mile, and he gets all soft and sensual until she don't bring him the right amount of ice in his Kool-Aid. Then he, boom, right? It's that feeling that she's trying to get from that man. But, and I'll say this, think about it, just with the class, we're all guilty. We're all guilty of going towards that feeling of, I want to ride with the bad boys because they make me feel good. I want to ride with the bad angels. I want to roll with the bad spirits because it feels great. That's what you're saying inside. It feels great. Right? Right?
It's like, why does a crackhead keep smoking crack?
Because he's chasing that dragon. He's chasing that first feeling. We chase these feelings, man. We chase that flesh, and the spirit is always there saying what?
Yeah.
Right? You put that hand out, spirit is like whooping you. You're like, oh my God, damn. I don't want to keep getting beat. I want to feel good. I want to feel high. I want to feel sexually pleased. I want to feel just whatever. I just want to be rubbed. Mm-hmm. Remember Martin when he drank, remember Martin and Bad Boys 2 when he drank the ecstasy pills?
God.
He started licking the leather and drinking plant water. Right. He was walking around like feeling everything like, oh, I just feel so great. That's how we literally want to walk around like that. But the wrong thing is administering that, and that's a feeling that's only going to last for a moment. See, the spirit can bring you all those same good feelings.
Yeah.
But there's joy, there's peace, there's love, there's charity, there's all these other things that are attached that it's not temporary where you got to keep chasing the dragon. I don't got to chase the dragon of unity, right? They call it chasing the dragon when you like got high the first time and you trying to, I think that's what they call it.
Yeah, you're right.
Yeah. But I don't have to chase the dragon of brotherhood. Because there's no epitome that we can reach. You don't hit the high first and then fall down and got to go back to the high. We're working our way to the high.
Yeah.
So we've never reached it. So we got to keep
God.
doing it, right?
That's right.
Brotherhood, sisterhood, communication. We have not hit the high on communication. Right? We've actually been down here on communication our whole life. And now we're working to try to go up in communication.
Yes, sir.
Up in charity. Right? Up in the fruits of the spirit, long suffering, patience. We're trying to go up in these things. So we're chasing something, yes. But we're not chasing some fictitious feeling that if you hit the wrong amount of drugs, you'll OD. There's not enough amount of brotherhood you can do that, you'll OD on brotherhood. Or I long suffered enough. If I just go one more mile in long suffering, I might drop dead in my steps. Hell no. You are chasing something, but while you chase the spirit ain't running away. It's resonating within you. Right? While you're doing the things to attain the spirit's like, yeah, I'll work with you. I'll make you that faithful man. I'll make you long suffering, and you get to see it. But when you're chasing that high, you can never ever quite get that high. You could never ever get to that first high. Think about it. Anybody here ever drank? Of course, we all drank a little bit. But I remember way back when I didn't start drinking until I was 21. And I remember when I would drink, there was a little tingle feeling that would you get the tingly lip, the tingle in the face.
Like when you hit like a sour candy?
No, not sour. There was a nice little face tingle, numbness that you would
Never
get.
got that.
Oh, I used to get it when I was younger, but I didn't drink a lot.
Okay.
I don't drink a lot now, but my body is used to alcohol. I don't get that same feeling.
I get that when I eat a Whataburger.
Bruh, stomachache now.
You still
But
get that? Or you still
anything
chasing
you
that?
ever had it at first where it gave you that feeling, you were like, dang. But then you go back for the Whataburger and you hit it, you like, wait a minute, it don't taste like the first Whataburger. Right? And then you go back and get another one trying to chase the first feeling when the cheese was perfectly melted.
Yeah.
And the lettuce was perfectly, crunchy.
No pickles.
No pickles.
No.
Right? They put the right amount of ketchup, the right amount of mustard, and you hit it. You were like, dang, this is a burger. And you go back and you can't, you never ever got that same feeling from that burger. From anything. Your first car. You never got that same first feeling from any other car. Your first love.
That's true. You know what? Because your very first car that you really started driving a lot.
First of all, it was a
that
hoopty.
became yours.
It was a hoopty.
It was a hoopty, but you always tried to get a car that was similar to that.
That's what bro. My first car, my next car was the same car but a newer year.
Con.
My first car was a Chevy S10 91. I went and got me a 2001. I liked the car. I had a feeling of the blue Chevy. Yeah. You see what I'm saying? Like the feeling that we chase it from the wrong the wrong end. We can get the same feelings of love, of acceptance, of joy, of peace, of people wanting to use us, right? But for a better purpose. That the Most High got a better purpose for us. So that's what we're trying to show y'all in this class is that, pardon me, remember we went and talked about the judgment. And why do people give themselves over to certain things and we judge harshly? But think about what we've given ourselves over to attain the same feelings that they're looking for. We just did things in a more silent, down low way. Yeah.
Con. Go to close it out. Go to Joel chapter 2, verse 2. I mean, not 2. Joel chapter 2 and verse 12, right?
They're all laughing.
Joel chapter 2, verse 12.
Stories.
You know, a lot of times, man, when we look back at our lives, Nicodemus, you had said this one time. You had said one time, why did the Most High wake me up so late to the truth, right? And I was thinking about it, and way back. Oh yeah, come on, man.
Way back.
No, I ain't never said that.
Well, anyway.
Anyways, back to the class. Back to the.
Maybe it was.
No. You were saying, why did he wake me up so late in the game? Yeah, and then you started going in. You was like, he wake me up so late because back then I wouldn't have listened.
Yeah, you did say that.
Yep.
You did say
See,
that.
golly.
Bring it to my
You said it to me too.
You definitely said. I remember that conversation.
I remember that.
Hey, we're all brothers here, man. Come on.
Anyways, no,
All friends.
The point I was gonna make is the Most High. You know, He makes us go through a lot of things in our past so that we can remain humble. You know, as you like move on in the truth and you start learning certain things and you start putting off certain things that you used to do and certain ways that you used to think, you start putting off a lot of the negative characteristics. Sometimes it'll make you look down on somebody. You know, but the Most High, He made sure that you always remember all your past, all the negativity that you did in your past. But why? So that you can stay humble. So that you can stay humble and remember, man, your righteousness is as filthy rags. So when we look at prostitutes, we like, man, this chick, she's dirty, she's filthy, she's this, she's that. You ever consider that when you out of the spirit with your husband or you out of the spirit with the Most High, when you give the Most High bare minimum, like you don't like the prostitute wants to give bare minimum when it comes to making money. She don't want to get a job and work a 9 to 5 like a regular person, when she would rather just sell her body and give bare minimum for the money. You don't see that you as a man, if you give bare minimum to the Most High, it's like it's damn near the same thing that she does. If you're a woman and you give bare minimum to your husband, it's like, what makes you different?
Yeah, you're taking that easy way out, that easy route.
Yeah, what makes you different? You're a woman and you get, you know, your husband corrects you, you can't take it, you start being prideful, all kinds of...
Get defensive.
You're like the chicken.
Chicken in the head.
But like it's like it's the same. It's you know, you'll look at them and you know, the scripture talks about when you have prostitutes walking up and down your land, that means that the land is greatly polluted.
Yeah.
That land is crazy polluted. It's not just why would you be able to have chicks just walk up and down selling their bodies with no clothes on when you have a family and you have all this there? Why can that happen? Because the land is polluted. That means that everybody in that area, their mindset, not everybody, but the majority of those people in that area, their mindset is gone.
Like, why could you have a Sodom and Gomorrah? Why could you have 5 cities that rolled like Sodom and Gomorrah did? Well, those 5 cities were lawless. Mm-hmm. Think about it. You have one man that was vexed. Job. Lot.
Lot, yeah.
Keep saying Job. Lot. He was vexed in that circumstance. Right? But think about it. Why could a city like that exist? Well, because everyone there was in the same... At some point, they all agreed in something that we're not going to stop it or stand up against it. Even if you didn't participate...
Yeah.
Right? In it, you didn't stop it and stand up against it. No different than you gotta. Anybody in here that get a chance, just drive down this and that, and you'll see. When we say polluted, you'll see just physical pollution, how filthy everything is, how dirty everything is because of the amount of just foot traffic and traffic that people walk up and down because of what these women bring, because of the attraction.
Yeah.
Right? And you see the mental pollution. When you drive down Bissonnette and the amount of car accidents and road rage, there's a spirit on that road.
Oh, yeah.
There's a literal spirit on that road that...
You're right. There's always a car accident over there.
I got to start taking the roundabout way. I get oblivious and just keep driving straight where I could do this roundabout thing. I got to start doing that because there's always an accident. Why? Because everybody's trying to slow down to look at some booty chip.
Yeah, driving at 25 miles per hour.
Yeah, on a 40? Come on. And then they hit the brake because they see something. And then everybody...
Bro, it's crazy. It's crazy. On the north side of the street, you have the Northern Kingdom. On the south side, you got the Southern Kingdom.
Yep.
And then it's just that whole area is actually gang infested. You got Crips over there. You got Bloods, but it's mostly a Crip
What is
territory.
that, Forum Park area?
Yeah. You got Foreign Park Crips over there. It's a lot of madness over there. It's a lot, but again, take it back to yourself. It can be a lot of madness in your household too, because if your mind is it's like the prostitute, but you just don't show it like how they do, then guess what? Just like that street is polluted and there's all kinds of filthiness and madness that go on in that street, look at your house. What state is your house in? Is your house polluted like that street? Or is your house peace and comfort? So, you know, if your house ain't peace and comfort, you know what I mean, then you got to see the correlation. Actually, drop that Joel 2. Give me Isaiah 64 and 6, and we'll end it at this. Isaiah 64 and 6. Damn, you're actually pulling up pictures from this and that.
Hell yeah. I think I might have took these when we were street speaking.
Nah, you need to put like some. Nah, don't put the raunchy ones.
Nah, don't put
That's
that.
cool.
Those are good.
Yeah, those are good. Don't put the bad ones. Isaiah 64 6. Who got it?
Isaiah chapter 64, verse 6.
Remember this. Go ahead.
But we are all as an unclean thing.
Yeah, some you could see it outwardly, but some inwardly you can't see the inward filth of some people, man. The Most High brings it out in different avenues and different areas, but it's like Donald Trump. You know why I like Donald Trump? Because he openly shows me that he's retarded. He openly shows me that he don't give a damn about us. He openly shows me that he's racist, that he don't care, that he wants us. That he openly shows me that he's down with white supremacy and all that, right? But when you look at a Joe Biden, he'll tell you if you don't vote for me, you ain't black. But you locked up more blacks and Latinos when you was governor in Delaware. You killed more blacks and Latinos. You broke up more blacks and Latino households when you were governor of Delaware. So what would you rather? Would you rather a snake that you can't see? Would you rather a little rattlesnake? No, I'm sorry. Would you rather a mamba, the black mamba snake? He's long, but he's small. You can't really see him. When he bites you, you're dead. Or would you rather an anaconda where you could see him?
Or the rattlesnake that lets you know it's there.
Con. So remember, man, we're all as an unclean thing. Some, they do it out in the open. You can see it. But some, all of us, we got things on the inside that we got to work on too. You know what? Because, bruh, you could turn a prostitute that shows all her stuff outwardly, but the same way she has a lot of negative characteristics, she has positive characteristics too, because she sure is loyal and humble to a pimp. So if you show her the Most High, she already got loyalness and humbleness inside of her. She'll be loyal and humble to the Most High. But a lot of us, we ain't loyal. We're not loyal and we're not humble to God. It's as simple as that. So I'll finish this and then you can come in. It says, "But we are all as an unclean thing." Read on.
And all our unrighteousness are as filthy rags.
All our righteousness are as filthy rags. So you feel like you better than somebody? You feel like you doing more? Remember, it's still like a filthy rag. And what is a filthy rag good for?
I don't.
Trash.
Nothing. You don't even use a filthy rag to clean your car. You're like, it's no point. I'm gonna make the car filthy. I'm gonna feel like I'm cleaning the car, but the car is still gonna be filthy. So then you won't even use a filthy car to clean your car. I mean, a filthy rag to clean your car. Read on.
And we all do fade as a leaf.
Go ahead.
And our iniquities, like the wind, have taken us away.
Con. Go ahead.
Give me James chapter 4 and verse 17. Just a cap.
James chapter 4, verse 17. Therefore to him that knoweth to do good, and doeth it not, to him it is sin.
That's sin. You know, those secret sins, those hidden faults within yourself, those personal character defects that you know you got, because we all got them. You know you should be going against that.
That's it, right?
It's sin unto you if you let it ride in you.
God.
And that's all I have to say on that.
Yeah, we'll end it there. We went a little bit over a few minutes. Hopefully everybody took something from the class. Any questions on the class?
I got one question. It ain't no question, just something. Y'all remember that show they used to have on HBO back in the day called The Players Ballroom?
I remember that show.
Yeah. They get a Pimp of the Year award.
They get a pimp.
Oh, yeah.
Pimps. They had that. They had pimps up, hoes down. They had hookers on the point.
Yeah.
Yeah, I used to watch all that. Yeah, I used to watch all that. Not that I wanted to be a pimp. I just wanted to know what that was about.
Yeah, it's just another avenue of life.
Yeah.
Find out what it's about.
They made it seem all like it was an actual lifestyle. They made it seem that's when you had like Bishop Magic Don Juan. He been around since then. He be up in his whole green suit. He was in Pimps Up, Hoes Down. He was in the Players Ball thing. They show how they would go get their little perms done and sitting up in the chair getting their hair did.
Up in the dryer.
Bro, all dude was riding around in a brand new. This was like 94 at the time. When that came out, 94, 95, he was riding around in a brand new Lexus GS. My old Lexus.
Yeah.
Brand spanking new. I think that's part of the reason why I wanted to get that car. Not because a pimp had it, but that's what he was driving. It was clean. I was like, damn. You know, but yeah, they put that all on HBO. They put it on TV for you to watch. Hookers on the point. Mm-hmm. It'll go into like these women talking about that lifestyle, how some of them loved it, some of them hated it. Yeah. Some of them chose it. Some of them felt like it chose them.
They even had women pimps.
Women pimp. Oh, they did have a female pimp in there. Yeah, they still got. You can still look them shows up. You can still look them shows up, man. Yeah, I remember all that. But that was the ushering in for that generation of some of these older women now are out there doing that because they seen that.
Yeah.
And then all the young chicks that are out there, all they trying to do is mimic the Cardi B, the Megan Thee Stallion, because they can't rap, they can't sing, they can't get no record deal. So they got to get that money some way. So they strip or they prostitute. Yeah. What else? Anything online? What was your name, brother?
Osmond.
Say it again.
Osmond.
Osmond. You got any questions at all on anything? Nothing yet? Okay, that's fine. We're here to answer questions too, so whatever you got. Anything online?
No.
Before we end it? All right, well. Really good class. Yeah, another good one. Really good one in VA yesterday on that grace. If you didn't watch it, you gotta watch it, man. Y'all gotta watch these classes. They're very, very, very. The teaching level, I'm gonna say the teaching level is on a very high level. So, not to boast or brag or anything like that, but I mean, we put a lot into these classes. A lot of meditation to make sure that they come out clear. To make sure that y'all are learning things and that you could learn from them. It's not just a bunch of scriptures we throw together. All right. So, with that, we're gonna say shalom.
Shalom.
And they will be live in Virginia tomorrow. They didn't like that. Shalom.
The scepter would never lead Judah. The scepter would never lead
Six chill, for real.
Judah, 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 Judah. Judah, 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 Judah. The scepter would never lead Judah. The scepter would never lead Judah. The scepter would never lead Judah. Don't crowd me up, who gon' rouse me up? Alistair Crowley, your time is up. It's a big mess, I gotta clean it up.